If What if Deku was sent from Undertale Part 16? Okay, in the last one, Sen has defeated the villain on the island and Melissa following them to learn how to use magic. So let's begin. It's a few days after what happened and Izuku go talk to Fusfunezu and All Might and ask about the villain and if he know whereabouts of All for One. Nezu says sorry Izuku, but by the look of it, the villain don't know the whereabouts of All for One. He said that All for One using somewhat a portal quirk to let him go, to let the man go meet him. Izuku say, damn it. Izuku, Izuku say, anyway, that's all the information you got, right? And Izuku say, and Nezu say, yup, that's all. And then Aizawa come to the room to see that Izuku is here and say, oh, hey Izuku, what are you doing here? Izuku explain why he here, and Aizawa say, oh, that why. And Aizawa say, oh Izuku, I will go to the training camp to see if the supply is there. Do you want to follow me? Izuku say, sure, why not? Izuku go with Aizawa to the training camp. On the way there, when they are there, they was meet with Wild Pussycat, and Izuku look and check the supply is already there and full. And, and when Izuku check surrounding, he see a boy walking to the forest. Izuku think to himself and say, "It look he looks familiar." Izuku go to Aizawa and say, Aizawa, no, he go to one of the Wild Pussycat and ask who the kid is. One of the Wild Pussycat say, that is Kota. He is my nephew. Right, if I write it's called nephew. Nah, I don't care. His parents died a few years ago, so by then he live with me now. Izuku say, did you say Kota? The Wild Pussycat member say, yeah. Do you know him? Izuku say, actually, Izuku say, is Kota son of the water horse hero? One of the Wild Pussycat say, yeah, why? And Izuku say, oh, so it's really him. One of the Wild Pussycat was confused, and Izuku say that the water horse hero was his neighbor, and and he before take care of Kota, babysitting Kota when he was younger. The Wild Pussycat was surprised, and Izuku say, by the look of it, he don't like. No, Izuku say, and by the look of it, after what happened, he somewhat don't like a hero. Weirdly, that weird. And Mendel, I don't remember who it is. I think it's Mendeley. Mendeley say, wait, how do you know that so easily? And Izuku say, I easy to read people expression. Sorry about that. My brother is bothering me. If I remember, I say that is he talk about Kota. And let's say Izuku go to Aizawa and say, "Hey Aizawa, I will go walk around the forest. Can I do that?" And Aizawa say, "Sure, go ahead." Izuku then leave. So let's go to Kota. Kota is sitting on the edge of the mountain, and then he stand up and starting to walk down. And then he heard a voice, and the voice said, "Buddy, don't you know how to greet an old friend?" Kota was stunned and so scared because he felt the aura, and he think to himself, "Old friend, what does he mean by that?" The voice say, "Turn around and shake my hand." Kota scared. He want to run, but he think to himself, if he run, he will die. So Kota closed his eye and turned around and shake the hand. And then he heard a whoopee cushion. And then he opened his eye with confused look, and he see it was Sand. And Sand starting to laugh and say, an old whoopee cushion in a hand joke. Classic. Kota looked, and Izuku looked at Kota and say, "Oh, hey Kota, long time no see." Kota was confused, and then he remembered and said, "Izuku-ni-chan?" Izuku said, "Yup, it's me." Kota asked, "What are you doing? Are you here?" Izuku said, "I come here to check the supply for the UA training camp." And Kota somewhat his mood turned down and said, "So you an UA student in Hero Course then?" And Izuku see it and he said, "Yeah." And Kota, "Can we talk for a little?" Kota and Sen sit down on the edge, and Izuku asks Kota, "Do you do, are you hate hero?" Kota was surprised to know that Izuku just knowing by the look of it, and say, "How did you know?" Sensei, by your expression and your voice tone, like when I say I come here to see the supply, and when you say I'm UA student now, so it was easy for me. And Kota say, "Huh, I should not be surprised. After all, it's you, Izukuni-chan." And Sen was confused, and he turned his head sideways and said, "What does that mean?" Kota said, "You are one of the smartest person I know. So of course, the thing like that will never get passed through you." Sen say, "Oh, that's how." And then Sen asked Kota, "Is this because of what happened to your parents?" Kota don't not speak at all, but he's not. And Izuku asks Kota, "Can you explain me more about why you hate Hero?" Kota explained that he hate Hero because of the job, because all of them just want money and want to be just fame. And look what happened. They die because they don't think about the consequences what happened. And Sen Lo, and he say, "Are you think the same thing about your parents?" After Kota hearing that he's to say, "What? No! My parent is different for them. They just want for fame and money, that's all." Sensei, "I know what you mean, Kota, but I know some of them are a, have a good have a good I don't know what the word again. Oh, I know. They some of them do for a good. Yeah, I forgot the mean again. Some of them do for the good of others, to help others as well, not just for money." And then Kota say, "How do you know?" And Sensei, I have a friend that just do it because he want to. He don't care about money or fame. And my I have one friend. No, and he no Sensei. And there are some hero do it for fame to how other student that have a weird and somewhat look useless to other a chance to see that they can become a hero as well. And then Sensei Kota, may I ask you something? And Kota say, what is it, Izuku-ni-chan? Izuku say, what type of hero, if you want to be one, will you be? Kota think to himself and he say, I want to be a hero that can save people and not let them have to have the same fate as my parents, to have the same fate as me, to see that their parent will not get was taken away for them. And and Izuku smile and say, so what do you think? Kota say, what do you mean? Izuku say, Kota, you have a good potential to become the greatest, one of the greatest hero. I see. When you was younger, I see about where you training, and I was surprised to see you how far you go when you was younger. So how about this? You will be in the future. You go to you will go to UA and how go to UA and you and show the others what the true meaning of the hero is. And Kota say, I don't know. And then sigh and then grab Kota's head and pat him and say, you can think a while. And when you make your mind, tell me. I will be I will come here about 3 days and I cannot wait for your answer. So come on, let's go. I think your aunt is worry. And Kota say, yeah, let's go. Both of them come down from the mountain and go to the where the base of the wild pussycat is. And Izawa say, it's about time, Izuku. Come on, let's go. And Izuku say, yeah, sure. And when Izuku go to Aizawa, he look back to Kota and say, I waiting for your answer, Kota. So let's pass. Last time skip to the 3 day after that. Izuku, all of the student is all of the student is going is is on the bus and riding to the west the UA no to their destination is, but then they stop. And I forgot to say this. Every go with them. Why? Because Sensei to Aizawa to brought Eri to help her train her quirk, to let her not be scared of her quirk at all. And Aizawa agreeing with this. They stop and everyone come out and they was confused. They are not at the the place of the camp. They are on the side to see a forest. And then a limousine come, and there was Wild Pussycat, and they was confused why the Wild Pussycat is here, and Izuku know what is going on, and he take Eri into the bus and say he looked at Aizawa, and Aizawa nod, and he brought Eri inside, and nah, he only brought Eri. And then one of the wild pussycat, using her quirk, made a avalanche, and everyone fall down to the forest. And as I was saying, you guys have to go walk through the forest to the camp. So good luck. And then Aizawa go inside of the bus, and the wild pussycat ride the vehicle go to the camp. And is on the way there, Aizawa come out, and he was to see the wild pussycat, and wild pussycat was surprised to see that Izuku come out from the bus, and the one of the wild pussycat tiger say, "Wait, why does this kid not go with them, fall down with them to the forest?" And Aizawa say he's too smart for that type of stuff, and or he too OP for that thing. Hell, he even can teleport, so that was useless. But let him go through the forest. And Mendeley say, "Oh, that how?" And Mendeley looked to see a little girl on Izuku. Well, no, Izuku carrying a little girl, and he say, "Who is that kid? Who is that little girl?" And Izuku say, "This is Eri, my daughter." The wild pussycat jaw was dropped, and Izuku say, "Huh, I already see this too much, so many times, so I get used of this." And then Izuku say, hear a voice, and the voice say, "Izuku-ni-chan." Izuku looked where the voice coming from, and he see it was Kota, and say, "Oh, Kota, here you are." Kota go to Izuku, and he say, "I have my answer." And Izuku was amused, was surprised, and say, "So what will you choose?" Kota say, "I will become a hero." And Izuku and Mendeley, no, one of the wild pussycat was surprised. No, all of them. And Izuku smirked and say, good choice. So, do you want me to help you training? And Kota say, yeah. And then Kota looked to see that there is someone behind Izuku, a girl. And Kota asked, "Who is this?" Izuku-ni-chan, who is she? Izuku say, "Oh, this is Eri. She my daughter." And Kota say, "Wait, so that means you marry one of the girl that visit your house before?" And Izuku say, "I too young to do that." No, Izuku say, "Kota, do you know about the bird and the beast?" And Kota say, "Yeah, why?" And Izuku say, "I don't do that stuff yet. I too young for that." And then Kota say, "So how did you have a daughter?" Izuku say, "I adopt her." And Kota say, "Oh, so you still not married to one of them yet?" And Eri asks, "Who do you mean? Who do you mean he's not married to them yet?" Kota say, "A girl with a black, two girl with a chocolate hair." And Kota, no. Eri say, "Do you mean Miss Freeze and Miss Chara?" And Kota say, "Oh yeah, yeah, them." And Eri say, "He already married both of them." And the wild pussycat and Kota jaw was dropped and say, and Kota look at Izuku and say, "And you say you too young for having a kid. You are too young making do the bird and the bees, but you old enough to marry a girl, two girls, and what you could say it's a long story, and I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, let's. How about we starting our training? And Kota say, sure, it's a few hours, and the other UA students are come were already there, already at the camp, and they are tired. And Aizawa say it take more longer than I thought. And Aizawa and what other students say, like Kaminara say, you think how long we should take go go through there? And Aizawa say about 2 hours. Everyone look at Aizawa and they think, are you serious? And then please ask, Mr. Aizawa, where is Sans? Where is Izuku? And Aizawa say, oh, Izuku, he over there. Aizawa pointing to a right side, and they look to see that Izuku is somewhat dodging a water force from a kid, and they was confused to what Izuku doing. And then Bakugo say, "Hey, Deku, why don't you go with why don't you with us when the avalanche come?" And Izuku say, "Because I already know what will happen, so I go inside the bus." And Bakugo say, "Damn you!" And before Bakugo can speak anything, Izuku glare at Bakugo and say, "There are children here, and if you say the word, I will make sure I sew your mouth shut. So be quiet." Bakugo immediately closed his mouth because he's so scared of Izuku. And everyone go. And it's night now, and they are eating. And Kota and Eri is sitting beside Izuku, and Fritz and Chara is pouting. This is sitting in front of Izuku, but they still pouting because Eri and Kota is sitting the place they should be, the spot that should be belong to them. And Kota and Chara look and say, "Hey Izuku, isn't he the kid that was? Isn't he your neighbor before?" And Izuku say, "Yeah, you got you to meet him." And Fitz say, "Oh yeah, his name Kota, right?" And Kota say, "Yeah, that my name." And Fitz asks, "So why did you move?" And Kota somewhat looked down and Sensei freeze. That's a touchy subject for him. And Kota say, "It's okay, Izukuni-chan." And and Kota is down to face each other that about his parent was killed by a villain, and he's starting to live with her aunt, her, his aunt. Izuku face and Chara was surprised and say sorry to ask you about this. And Kota say, "Don't worry, it's not your fault. It's the villain's fault." Izuku see that Kota is upset, and he say, "Don't worry, Kota. One, I will find that villain and beat him up." And Kota was happy to hearing this. Everyone now go to sleep, and in the morning, Aizawa told them that Aizawa told them to wake up early, and they do that. Which can Sorry about that. Aizawa go to Bakugo and say, no, he throw a ball to Bakugo and tell Bakugo to throw as far as he can. And Bakugo do that. And when Aizawa told his score, everyone was surprised to see that his score is almost the same as when they do the festival on before on the court physical exam. And as I was saying, have there's still half of you guys who still don't grow. Your physical maybe, but your court not. The only person the person that only is improving is Kirishima, Ochako Uraka, Ochako, Phrase, Izuku, and Todoroki, and Ida. And as I was say, so in this few in these weeks, you guys will have a hell of training. So be prepared. Everyone starting to train more harder than before. And Izuku trained himself and also trained Kota and Eri. Izuku made Eri train by touching the tree and make it rewind it when it was just a little small branch, a little small tree. And Izuku made Kota shoot a water pressure more harder than before, and tried and Izuku somewhat teach Kota to use his quirk to no Izuku teach Kota to use his water pressure on his feet, and Kota managed to do that. And Izuku say, Kota, how about you using your water pressure to increase your speed as well? So Kota do that, and Sen trained himself those by using his gravity manipulation magic or blue magic on himself and shoot a bunch of bones to himself, and he dodging all of it. And the last day, no, the last night of the training camp, everyone do the courage test, and the one that and it's go like in the canon, but Izuku go with Fist and Chara, and who the one that failed is in the canon. No, on Kirishima and Sato pass, but Zero, Mina, and Kaminari not, and Shinzo with, Se- with Zero, and Zero can before Shinzo can using his work, Midnight make make Zero asleep, so Shinzo the only one who passed. Anyway, San, Fist, and Chara is with together in this courage in the courage game. I don't know what it's called. And then there a fire. Oh yeah, and Kota Kota and Eri follow Priest Chara and San as well. They look to see a big blue flame, and he said he told Priest and Chara to get Kota and Eri to safe place. I will go find the other. And before they can move, there a big person come out from the forest and stop Izuku and no, five of them from moving forward. and say, "Hey kid, that a nice hat you have there. How about we change it? How about you change it with this lame mask?" And Izuku stepped forward, and the big person say, "Look," and to see Eri, and he say, "Ah, there she is." Izuku see that they want Eri, so Izuku say, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" Mus- the person say, "Let me introduce myself." Muscular, no, the person take off his hood and take off his mask to show himself. It was Muscular, and you guys already know who it is from how many times I slip his name. Anyway, Kota see and he started to cry and say, "It's him. You are the one that killed my parent." Izuku look, and the Muscular look at Kota and say, "Oh, so the you are the brat of those two bastards who took away my eye. Great. Finally, I can take my revenge and killing you. By killing you." And stand low and furious. And he say, "So, you come here for my daughter, and you want to kill Kota because you your eyes was taken by his parents, but you already killed his parents. Is that not enough?" Muscular smiled and said, "Of course not. He, you know how hard it is to have a one bad eyesight." And Muscular say, "Anyway, I will take the girl and I will kill you." So, and Sen say, "Oh, you will not harm anyone else anymore." With a with a venom in his voice, he summoned Muscular, and he tells Fritz and Chara to activate their quirk now and take Kota and Eri away. Fritz and Chara, hearing this, so they immediately take Kota and Eri away using their quirk and jump. Muscular say, "Oh no you don't," and before Muscular can chase after them, Sen punch Muscular right to the face and say, "You will not go after them. You will be killed by me." Muscular say, "I think the real word is I will fight. I am your opponent." And Sen say, "No, I mean by killing you, I mean it." Then Muscular smirk and say, "Are you think you stronger than me, Brad?" Muscular run to Deku and try to punch him. And when Muscular tried to punch him, nothing happened. Muscular was confused, and he looked to his right arm to see it's gone, and a bone pillar coming from the ground. And Muscular started to scream in agony, and Sen looked at Muscular and say, "It's a beautiful night outside. Birds are sleeping, flowers will blooming, but on a day like this, villain like you should be burning in hell." Muscular is scared right now. He feels something rolling on his back. He feels his sin rolling on his back right now. Muscular scared. He immediately turned around and tried to run. But before he can run, a bunch of a bone pillar coming from the ground, piercing, piercing through his body. Muscular said, "Please." Izuku walked and looked at Muscular. Muscular said, "Please, give, please, I beg from your mercy. Please don't kill me." And then Sensei, "You don't have the right to for mercy after what you did to his parents and to what you did to all the innocent people you killed." Sen put his hand on Muscular head and then create a fire, consuming him. Muscular started to scream, but it was no use. Sen looked at Muscular without face about what he do. Muscular burned, and then Sen summoned a Gaster Blaster, fire at Muscular and incinerate him to nothing left. To nothing left, not even a bone. And Sen running, go to finding his classmate, and I forgot to about this. Let's jump backward a little. On the way, Sen training with Eri and Kota. There, there are two persons coming to Sen, and it was Shinzo and Monoma. And Shinzo asked Sen if he can help him train, and Monoma asked Sen, and Sen looked at Monoma and asked, "Why is it, what, so you come here to train with me too?" And Monoma said, "Yeah, and I want to talk about if you know the whereabouts of my sister." And Sen said, "No, I don't see Toga. I don't know to whereabouts of your sister Toga." And Monoma say, "It's alright. We will find her soon." And Sensei, "Yeah." So anyway, let's go back. Sen is trying to finding his classmate, and everyone and Izuku see a gas, and Izuku know what type of gas this is, and it was a mustard gas. Izuku take a deep breath and close his mouth and nose and run and try to finding someone, and then he said something and he immediately dodged. He bent down and he was correct. There a bullet coming at him, and it was Mustard, and Izuku looked, and Mustard was surprised. Mustard tried to shoot at Izuku again, but Izuku, with his speed, running at him and punched him right to the face, destroying his gas mask, and knocked him out. And the mustard gas is gone, and he see Tetsu and Kendo and Monoma and one of his classmates, and three of them go to Izuku and ask, "What happening?" And Izuku say, "There villain attack. Go to the camp and try, and if you guys see any of other students, try to help them and tell them to go to the base." And three of them understand this. Izuku try, and he see Dark Shadow, a giant figure of Dark Shadow. So Izuku go and he see, and then he was pushed down and say, and he looked to see it was one of his classmates, the one that have a multiple arm and eye and ears quirk. And Izuku, and the person say that Tokoyami suddenly go berserk after seeing me get injured. We have, do you know how to? to make him calm down. Sensei, yeah, I know. Send summon a guster blaster and fire to the air, make a giant blast of beam. Dark shadow starting to shrink down, and Tokuyami take control back and say, Tokuyami say sorry for what I did, and Sensei, don't worry about that. Come on, let's go. They go, and they meet Bakugo and Shoto fighting Moonfish, and they see that Kendo, Monoma, and Tetsu is helping them, and they go. Sen, the octopus dude, and Tokoyami help them defeat the villain and capture the villain as well. And they starting to walk, and they hear a scream. All of them starting to run, and they see Toka. No, they see Floppy is pinned down, and yeah, I should make Floppy and Jiro. No, Floppy and Momo. They see that Suyu is on the tree, and Momo is put down and about to be killed. No, there a girl on top of her, and the girl is suck have a syringe that suck Momo blood, and then Izuku say Izuku started to run, and Monoma looked to see who it is, and he started to run as well. So the girl was Toga. He immediately saw this, and he started to jump backward. Izuku started to go to Momo to see if she was alright, and Monoma looked and say, Toga, send low and say, why is she here? And Toga low and say, oh, well, isn't it my little brother? How has it been doing, Monoma? Everyone was surprised except for San, and they say, wait, she your sister? Monoma say, yeah. And Monoma say, Toga, please, you, it's not too late. You can stop this. You have to just just surrender. And Toga say, it's already too late for me. Monoma, San, and no, Toga say, I already killed a lot of person. It's already too late for me. And Monoma and Toga say, well, it's nice seeing you, Monoma, but I have to go. And Monoma say, no. And Toga was look back and she say, huh? Hmm? Monoma look at Toga and he say, if you will not go peacefully, then I will have to force you then. Monoma, no, Toga was surprised. So, and she say, so, you will fight your own big sister. And Monoma say, if it have to do, if it have to make you, if it to save you, then I will do it. Monoma, Monoma copy Tetsu and Kendo Quirk when he fighting Moonfish, and and he trained himself so he can use about 30 minutes. So so Monoma started to turn into steel, and he's starting to run to Toga. Toga jump and Monoma fighting, and the others try to intervene, but Sen stopped them. And Bagusi, what are you doing? We have to stop him. Have to stop her. And Sen say, I know, but Monoma have to be Monoma who have to defeat her. So Sen shout, Monoma, I will I will let him I will let this I will give it to I will give her to you. So you better win. Monoma say, I will. Monoma and Toga is fighting. Everyone is go running, try to finding all his the classmates. When they meet, they go tell everyone to go, and then meet see a normal. Then no, on the way there onto the camp site, they see a normal, and he everyone's immediately dug down, and Izuku say, Momo, can you create a tracker? Momo say, yeah, why? Izuku say, I have an idea. So, can you do it? Momo say, okay then. Izuku Momo create a tracker and give it to Izuku. Izuku using his shortcut, teleport behind the normal and put the tracker. Izuku and then he teleport everyone to the campsite, and they see everyone is here and say, is everyone okay? Aizawa say yeah. And then a big blue flame coming from the forest to them. Sense saying this, so he create a bone barrier to protect the student. And he see Darby and Twice and Mr. Compress and see, and the villain say, wow, then Izuku look Izuku looked to the villain and he looked back to his classmate, and he just realized there are still person missing, and it was Chara, Chris, Eri, and Kota. And Izuku looked at the villain and shout, where are they? Where are they? And Mr. Compress say, oh, do you mean them? Mr. Compress pulled out 4 marbles and Sand look closely and see there Kota, Chara, Priest, and Eric is inside of the marble. And the Mr. Compress, we have our objective, so we will starting to leave. And then Sand teleport right in front of Mr. Compress, and Sand choke Mr. Compress, and Mr. Compress was in shock, and Izuku say, "Let them go." And Dabi tried to attack Mr. to attack Izuku, but Izuku put his hand to where Dabi is and shoot a blue flame. Dabi was in shock, and the flame that Sen made engulfed is is pushing him back. And Sen say, "I will. How about we make a deal? If you let go of my wife, both of my wife and my daughter and the kid that in Kota right now, I will not kill you." And Mr. Compress say, "You bluffing. You are a hero. You will not kill." And then stop Mr. Compress and say, "I already killed Muscular. And I already killed when I was 8. So do you think I don't have the gut to dirty my hand again?" Everyone, his classmate and the villain was in shock. And then Mr. Compress said, "Point there. He is free. He framed Chris Chara." And Mr. Compress. No, he free, Mr. Compress free Fish Chara, Kota and Eri. And then throw Mr. Compress to dub to twice. Oh yeah, and Spinner and twice or no, Spinner and Magni already been taken down. Anyway, and then Sensi, and then someone come out from the forest, and it was Monoma. He is carrying an unconscious Toga and say, def- I defeated her." And then, and then he, he Sensei, "Good job, Monoma." Monoma smirked and sense, and all of and twice Darby and Mr. Compress see what is happening. And then a voice coming out from the forest. "You really cannot. If you really want to do it right, you have to do it yourself." Everyone looked where the voice is coming from, and Chara and Sen was in shock. The person was the player, and said, "Well, it's been a long time since we see each other, isn't it, Sen?" Mhm. And then there's someone coming from behind the player. They see a girl, and the girl have a pink hair, and say, "Player, we don't have time. So where our target?" So where is our target? And this and the player say, "Oh, the little girl is our target." The player look at Eri. Eri is scared, and Sensei, "I will not let you touch her." And the player say, "Oh, Sans, you are so cute when you angry. You know that?" And then Betty say, So the little girl we we need to capture so we can use the reset. So you can have reset power again. Am I right? Am I right? And then the players say, "Yep, she is." Now, and then Sun just realized what the player is about to doing when he fight her first on the fourth festival. And why she want Eri? She want Eri because she want to create the reset button. And Sun say, "I will not let you. I will not let you get your make your goal come true." And the players starting to laugh. And the players say, "I know you will not, San. So how about this? We will live. How about with this? We will not fight you if you give those people back." They show at Magni, Darby, Twice, Moonfish, Mustard, Darby, DIC Darby, and Toga. And when Monoma heard that they want his sister back, Monoma starting to shout, "I will not let you have my sister!" And Monoma still have his time. He started to run to the player, and then the player sigh and say, "Ah, another idiot." The player ran at Monoma with a immense speed and punched him to the stomach. Monoma sending Monoma fly backward, and he sighed. How about that? Toga starting to get up from her conscious, starting to have his consciousness, and he see that Monoma is fighting the player. Monoma stand up and say, "I'm not done yet." Monoma started to run at the player, and the player say, "Man, you really persistent, you know that?" The player punched Monoma on the gut again, but this not sending Monoma flying because Monoma catch the player hand and say, "Gotcha." The player was confused, and then Monoma punched the player, sending her backward. Both player and Monoma is fighting right now, and Betty is getting annoyed, and he say, "I will end this." Betty create a spear, and Toga, seeing that the spear is aiming at Monoma, and Betty throw the spear at Monoma. Izuku say, "Monoma, what?" And Monoma look to where what happening, and he see a spear coming at him. Monoma close his eye, and nothing happened to him. Monoma don't feel anything, and then he opened his eye, and he was in shock to see what happened. and he see her sister take the spear for him, and Toga say, I maybe like to kill, but I will not let anyone hurt my little brother. And Toga started to cough up blood, and the spear started to fade off, fading away, and Kota started to fall down, and and Toga looked at Monoma. Monoma has a horrified face, and Toga say, I may be not a good sister, but at least this the only thing that I can do for you, was smiling, and then Toga fell down to the ground. Monoma started to cry in agony, and Sen and Sen started to run at Monoma. Monoma. Monoma said, Toga! Shout Toga name while crying. And Sen said, Toga, Monoma, let me heal her. Monoma is crying. Sen is Sen is healing Toga right now, and the player look, and she say, fine, we will not take her, but will take the other. How about that? Sen begrudgingly say, fine, take your friend away. The players smirk, and get the villain go to the portal that Korgiri made. Sen is healing. Sen is healing. Toga. Monoba is crying. Everyone go. And Sen no. And Monoma asks if her sister will be okay. And Sen say, I don't know. Monoma is crying harder than before. Eri saying this. And Eri go to Izuku and say, Izuku-ni-chan, let me do it. And Sen say, are you sure? Eri say, she may be... No, Eri say, Dad, let me help her. No, Papa, let me help her. And Sensei, yeah, are you sure about this? And Eri look, and she says, she may be a villain, but she protect her own brother. So that means she's still good inside, right? And Sensei, yeah. And Eri look at Sen and say, please let me do it. And Sensei, okay then. Eri go to Toga, and he's starting to use her quirk. Monoma asks, what are you doing? And Sensei, saving your sister. Eri using her quirk to rewind need part at when Toga before Toga gets stabbed through the chest, and Toga still unconscious, but she's safe. And Eri say, all done. Monoma see that her sister is fine. She's starting to she look at Eri and say thank you about 12 times. And I will end it right here. So if you like it, please subscribe and leave a like. And sorry for not uploading What If Send Was Sent from Undertale part 16. I am I getting lazy and it was cool and I don't have an idea back then. So anyway, see ya. Bye bye.